That's not great news. Well, Iron Dames right in the thick of the action in the GTE AM class. Let's get down to their pit garage.
I'm with Michelle Gatting, driver for the 85 Iron Dames. This race doesn't do anything for your nerves, does it?
Especially not when it's still 19 hours to go. It's pretty exciting, but to be honest, Sarah is doing amazing out there. So, I mean, still way too many hours to go.
But the conditions are changing so much. Obviously, it's such a bigger track than we're used to, but the conditions are just so different.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, the whole week has been exhausting in a good way, but yesterday night we had a meeting at 9 o'clock and we were all like, shit, we still have a race tomorrow, you know. So, but it's been amazing here. The fans, it's obviously the pink car is attracting a lot of attention, as we want to, and now for good reasons, but still a long time to go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Beautifully manicured paint. The first language that any racing driver learns is mechanics English. What?
It's not funny, Graham. It's not funny.
Sorry.
My children are listening.
I'm still bidding for more TikTok coverage. But certain references have been banned. Go and look online if you don't know what we're talking about. Yiffy leads Le Mans for Jota. For Hertz Team Jota, they do no longer lead in LMP2 because Oliver Rasmussen has just been in and out of the pit lane in the 28 car, and they don't have a GT. Oh, no, there's the 38 car. That is the race leader, Yiffy.
What has happened there?
Backed it into the chicane, the Porsche curves. Luckily, he is very close to the pit lane, and luckily, although it now looks like some very badly hacked about Hot Wheels car, he will have lost very little time at all. He's still got all the four wheels pointing in about the right direction, but he's got no grip, and he's come in too hot.
I mean, I'm assuming that he's lost the rear end in the Porsche curves, and runs so far out wide before karting corner, ends up in the barrier. Is this going to pivot the car right round? Yes, it does. Yeah. That's a much bigger moment than I thought it was. And then, in desperation, he launches it over that curb into the pit lane.
Which has probably done as much damage.
He's just gone from hero to absolute zero. Well, he was doing so well, but that's the risk level he was taking, and that's why he is clearly going as fast as he was. That was maximum risk there from the Jota driver.
And Ferrari now 1-2 again, as Hertz Team Jota will have to set about this car as quickly as they can. Louise Beckett.
Just walking down to the Hertz Team Jota car, but on the way, I could see the number 5 Porsche mechanics. They were lying on the floor looking as the 5 came through the pit lane. So something's going on the bottom of that car.
All right, and that's the car of Dane Campbell's just come and gone.
20 seconds.
And we will go full course yellow. This will bring everybody down to 80 kilometers an hour, but will not use the safety car. Now then, Ferrari need a pit stop. Penske Porsche number 5 car needs a pit stop, and so does the 93 Peugeot.
Full course yellow. We are under full course yellow. We are removing debris at several places on track. We are removing debris at several places on track.
Almost all of it Hertz Team Jota bodywork.
Well, very substantial chunks of Hertz Team Jota bodywork, including the entire rear wing assembly, the underpart of that tail section, and much of the engine cover, which are in big chunks. Well,
you can guarantee it's going to take less time to clear up the damage on the circuit than it will do the damage in the pit lane for the team. That's such a shame. I'd love to see the shot from earlier on. How did he end up there so far out in the Porsche curves? Did he lose the rear around the last left-hander, or the penultimate left-hander before the right where we saw him go wide? Well, was he overtaking a car? You know, what happened?
When you go offline to the left, I mean, not as a driver, I don't know this, but watching, we've seen when cars are out wide, they really bounce. The road is really ripply off of course, you're on the other side of the camber, so the road is going away from you there. whereas when you turn right into the Porsche curves, it's camber to help you in. If you're the wrong side of the camber on the public road part, you don't get that benefit, and then you're out on the Ripley stuff. Remember when we saw the Peugeot bouncing up and down? It doesn't do that anywhere. Only when you're offline, you get really bumpy there, where the Porsche curves, the modern bit of racetrack, peels off the old public road, or I say old public road, off the public road.
He's either lost the rear, like I say, on the second part, the second left of the Porsche curves, lost the rear momentarily, collected it, but then you're offline, you get onto the wet stuff, and the car just simply won't turn right. That's what it first looked like to me. Or he's done what Dane Cameron did beforehand, but slightly earlier in the corner. So he's brought the car back onto the track over the grass and not followed the perimeter road round to the right-hand side. I'm going with the gut instinct again. The first thing is the only thing I can imagine.
We've seen 3 or 4 incidents now for multiple Porsches where it sort of feels as if the grip's not been where they expected it to be.
Well, it was in the start for Yifei, wasn't it?
Well, it certainly was. That was an amazing stint. He pulled out a 15-second gap on the field.
It was masterful what he did.
Absolutely brilliant. But whether or not that was overconfidence, whether or not there's a problem, whether or not there's... whatever it is, that was a big incident, one of the biggest we've seen so far in this 24 hours of Le Mans.
I mean, I'd like to, like I say, I need to see it from earlier on. I need to see a different angle from the one we get. Maybe it's unfair on him. Maybe he had a left rear puncture or something, or a left front puncture. But I'd like to hope it wasn't driver error.
And the other thing there is the belting that holds the tyre walls together has been damaged by that. That might require an intervention and a replacement or a refixing of that. But high drama again. We're not even 5 hours into this race. Good grief.
Like I was saying, guys, it's, this has been some of the hardest driving conditions I've ever seen at this Le Mans event.
And it is that point, isn't it? You were making it earlier in the show, or the race rather, where, look, we have seen extreme rain at parts of this circuit, but it's almost better if that's all you've got. What we've had is this constant facing from bone dry, heavy shower, into dry again, but not quite dry, then wetter, and then drier again. And they're looking for where the grip is on every other lap.
The problem is, like I said, the circuit isn't fully dry, and they're still out there on the slick tyres, and they're just about okay for these conditions because they're losing track temperature all the time. If it was a hotter track, the tyres would be much more pliable, and they'd be able to extract that grip and have a bit more confidence. But it's getting more and more tricky as we go, as the sun continues to set, the temperatures come down, and they're having to basically reevaluate every single time they approach the same corner over and over.
Just noted, by the way, there Will Stevens, as if Yifei is looking distraught, isn't he really? Will Stevens was suited and booted there. I think that might have been his in-lap.
Yifei's in-lap.
Why otherwise would Will Stevens be sitting there, hands device on and helmet on?
Within a lap or two. Don't forget, we said they needed fuel. The Ferraris need fuel as well.
The Ferraris are going to gain big here. If they're not going to, because we're going to go up the end of the full course yellow. They're not going to be able to pit under full course yellow, but they were going to be close to that if there was further damage that needed replacing. Recovered quickly, but unfortunately, the thing's deconstructing itself. There's a big job for the Hertz Team Jota guys and girls. Oh, I bet that hurt.
Yeah, you would have felt that. But yeah, in desperation.
Green flag.
I think you're right. It was, as you go back to green. You know what? The way that Ferrari approached this, they didn't care that the Jota Porsche was pulling away from them, as we see a swap of positions there with the Ferraris. They didn't seem to care. They weren't bothered. They've done what Toyota did earlier on, where they did to get track position for the pit stop, or pit stop position to save the team, generally speaking, more time. So, just get them in the right order before they stop. But Ferrari, to me, looked like their whole approach to this event so far has been absolutely bang on. They're picking their fights. They're not going with that Jota car pulling away in the distance. The engineer's quick on the radio to say, look, we'll build this up nicely over the second stint. Look after these tyres in the first stint. We'll be there in the second stint. Their whole approach seems to be thinking of the long game.
There's another point here with this new safety car procedure, and I'm keen to hear what you guys think about this. There's various ways in which race control can neutralise the race. We've seen slow zones, we've seen full course yellow, we've now seen 2 safety car procedures. Knowing that you've got a safety car procedure that is better at managing the real-world race order, I do wonder whether they've got more confidence in deploying it. I do wonder that clearly the main reason to go safety car, the main reason is to do with the incidents, but they're also mindful of the overall race and the overall event. And I do wonder whether or not this might play into this a little later. Are we more... Oh, the Racing Team Turkey car now off again at the first chicane. And who's aboard the 923? It is Tom Gamble. And he's stuck.
He was doing absolutely the right thing there. He was creeping it back. But if you spin up the rear tyres, it's going to dig itself in. And it just started to beach itself, and that's exactly what it's done. But once again, look, both cars, the 63 as well, running out wide under that braking zone. It's just you're turning and braking another car behind them as well, one of the GTs.
That's the 911 car.
It is absolutely treacherous there.
Doesn't look it, but it is clearly very greasy. I wonder if there's something else down at that corner other than just being wet, because we're seeing multiple cars.
This is how it looked on board.
Oh, that must be a horrible moment.
And he saved it from going into the barrier, and then you just think, right, I've got to put it in reverse and just ease it back. But at that one moment where you feel the car sink down, your heart sinks with it.
Hello, boys.
Hello, Jim.
Welcome back, Jim.
Thank you. When I came back in after my little meal break, I'm looking at the scoring. I'm thinking to myself, when was the last time anybody was going to have to go on the air and say, Toyota in 8th and 9th?
Now cycling back in the 2 Toyotas, by the way, because of the pit stops for the...
yes, they are, but they know they've got their hands full.
Oh, yeah.
In the Centenary Le Mans.
Boy, oh boy, have we got a race on here. Boy, oh boy, we got a race on. And hearing what you said about Ferrari. Ferrari are not racing in a very Ferrari way. They're not going and wringing the neck of this race. They know this is a race of survival as well as pace. And actually, that's been possibly the most impressive part of it.
You've heard it here first, guys. And I'll probably get beaten up online for this. Ferrari's strategy so far has been brilliant.
Yes. But the other thing I've noticed is that other than the first pit stop, they've pitted in tandem.
Yeah.
The first pit stop, they were separate.
Surprising,
but
isn't it?
since then, they have pitted in tandem. And that's not something we're used to seeing here.
Move for position. This is for second position overall.
Yep.
The 94 Peugeot give a position away to the first of the 2 Toyotas. Brendan Hartley goes through to second. Nick Tandy, by the way, leads Le Mans.
Everyone's having a turn today. The car 75 out there in front.
I think the majority of this hypercar field have led this race.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. 75 is led, 94 is led, 8, 7, 50, 51, 2, 3, 5, 6, 38. Yeah, 11 of the 14 cars.
I'll tell you something.
Led the race.
You can tell how good a race it's been, because not for the first time one of our co-commentators has completely missed the point at which they should have gone to eat, and a racing driver missing out on a meal because they're enjoying the race too much. Hank Davidson leaves us. Welcome back, Peter Dunbreck. I was like a quick slap.
I've eaten already.
Oh, there you go.
He ate with me. He's the smart man.
That strategy.
Follow the fat guy. Follow the fat guy. He knows where the food is.
I ate twice, in fact.
In comes to number 94 from third position. Peugeot have led Le Mans. And Porsche, Toyota, Peugeot, the 1, 2, 3. Let's go down and speak to Jota, and it's Louise with Dieter Gass, the team principal of Hertz Team Jota.
I'm with Dieter Gass, team principal of Hertz Team Jota, car 38. There's a lot of work going on to this car, obviously, which is why we're trying to stay out of the way. Dieter, I've seen a lot of body work going on and off. Do you know the extent of the damage?
Yeah, I think very much so. We obviously have seen the front end, rear wing, engine cover going as well. And from what we have seen, the elephant foot, that's what it's called, the part behind the front wheel, and the forward part of the floor. That's the extent of damage that we can see so far. Suspension seemed to be okay, we hope. So we're trying to repair the bodywork, and then we'll go again if everything confirms like that.
What's Yiffy saying happened?
Yeah, he said he lost it under the braking in the Porsche corners, and then obviously hit the tire barrier, and that made quite some significant damage on the car.
Was he ready to come in? Because we saw that Will was ready in his helmet.
Yeah, he was up for a planned pit stop in this lap, yes, correct.
All right, thank you.
To the front and away at the front was, I'm afraid, spoiled on that in lap by a bit of a miscalculation into the Porsche curves.
And the racing in LMP2 is no less exciting at this point than it is in the hypercar class. We've got the team WRT number 41 leading with Louis Delatrans behind the wheel, chased by the United Autosports, the remaining undamaged United Autosports number 23 with Oliver Jarvis behind the wheel of that car, and they are nose to tail as they head into Indianapolis.
We're back to full track green running now with the end of that incident caused by FAA shunt, and the clear up is complete. Sorry, it was the second one was Tom Campbell, wasn't it, at the first Mulsanne chicane. But well into double figures for cars on the lead lap for LMP2. Meantime, lead lap in hypercar is the...
Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship will return on Motor Trend.
Blackstone knew you deserved a better way of cooking, igniting an outdoor cooking revolution with more than 8 million griddles sold, creating better backyard celebrations. Your breakfast is better. Lunch, better. Every dinner you craft is done better. And we're never done pushing for more. More flavor. More fun. So go to the nearest Blackstone retailer or log on to blackstoneproducts.com to get yours today. Blackstone. Better.
Here's some advice. You know how sometimes when you're invited to a party, the host will say, "You don't need to bring anything. It's fine." Those people are lying.
What flavor do you guys want, man? Take your pick.
Bring a party pack. My advice, choose Smirnoff Ice.
Dads are special. Fun. Inspiring. Always there for you. So make Father's Day extra special with gifts he'll love from WeatherTech. Floor liners, cargo liner, seat protector, sunshade, ready-to-wash system, and cup phone. Or our newest product, the golf cart mat. Order these American-made gifts or gift card at WeatherTech.com. Have a very happy Father's Day.
My A1C was up here. Now it's down with Rybelsus. His A1C?
It's down with Rybelsus.
My doctor told me Rybelsus lowered A1C better than a leading branded pill.
And that people taking Rybelsus lost more weight. I got to my A1C goal and lost some weight too.
Rybelsus isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't take Rybelsus if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Rybelsus and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Gallbladder problems may occur. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Rybelsus with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Need to get your A1C down?
You may pay as little as $10 per prescription.
Moisture, eliminating the source of musty odors.
24 hours on the clock. The ball is underway. Now they can believe.
Aren't you tired of the back pain caused by your lousy shop stool? The days of tiny casters and thin seats are over. Meet the Viper Chair. The Viper Chair glides over any surface and loose debris with 4-inch industrial-grade casters. Relieve your lower back pain with a perfectly angled backrest. Prevent tipping with a wide, sturdy base. Viper Chairs are designed for every industry, no matter what you love to do. Stop wasting your money buying cheap shop stools and get yourself a Viper Chair. Shop ViperIndustrial.com.
Did you know that ticket prices can actually go down right before the game? That's where Game Time comes in. Game Time tracks ticket prices in real time from thousands of trusted sellers, then shows you all the best deals. So we can get tickets at the last minute for up to 60% off. Download Game Time now.
The Subway series is elevating your favorite sub.
Why mess with the sweet onion teriyaki, Chuck?
Man, this ain't messing. It's perfecting with marinated chicken and double cheese.
Sweet and savory. Kind of like you and me, Chuck.
Bye, Peyton. Try to refresh favorites at Subway today.
Hit the gas on the best automotive entertainment with the Motor Trend app.
Very, very nice indeed.
All the shows you love, plus exclusive digital series. Get the app and get it all. Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship continues.
Sorry, we're going to drive away with it. It hasn't been like that to this point. I agree with you, Peter. I think what's happening now, not all of their own making, is this race is coming back to them because others have hit trouble. This is the team with the most experience here, and certainly the team with the most experience here with the car they're driving this year. So it's the third year at Le Mans for Toto Gazoo Racing with the GR10, and of course they've won on both previous occasions. Weather has been a factor. They've got plenty of data for that.
I tell you what, I bet he's desperate to get into the pits and have that windscreen cleaned.
Yes, especially as the sun's starting, especially right now, because the visibility, if the clouds stay separate like that, the visibility is going to get pretty tough.
This is our race leader in LMP2 as he came in to the pits and sees that lead back to Jota, Oliver Rasmussen. Ahead of Albert Costa in the number 34 into Europol competition. Orica, that's the 1-2 now with the next three cars in the order on pit lane, including young Malte Jakobsen, the 37 car, leading Pro-Am, and fifth overall LMP2 as they hit pit lane. This, our new race leader in LMP2.
I'm with David Suter from Michelin, and this race really is proving to be tough on tyres and tyre decision being crucial.
Yes, we saw from the beginning of the race, a lot of different conditions, and the engineers and our technical advisor are really on work because they have to choose between wet, between soft, medium, and it's a big job because the temperature on the track is still high. So normally it's on medium, but with the wet conditions, maybe you have to put the soft and sometimes the wet because of the level of water on one part of the track. Yeah.
And we know that you've worked really hard on these tyres. It's an endurance race, it's 24 hours, and you've really worked on that endurance factor and the tyres' life lasting.
Yes. Our goal is to have 4 stints on a hypercar. So at the moment we are trying to do the free stints as in our forecast, I would say. And the aim is to analyze the free stint tires, to analyze in our laboratory, just in our workshop. And with the analysis, we'll be able to say to the team if you are okay to do the 4 stints. Yeah.
And with that development, you're also looking at sustainability, sustainable materials. I believe it's 30% at the moment on the tires.
Yes, exactly. Our slick tires, the hypercar, are at a minimum of 30% of sustainable materials, and our wet tires are a bit more with 40%.
And where do you see that going and that development going up in percentage?
So we showed on the H24 hydrogen car, we showed 63% of sustainable material in the tire. So this is the future. And these tires are already on the track with the H24. So we already show that we are able to produce a race tire to go on Le Mans track.
And it's not just about Le Mans, is it? It's also about our road cars.
Yes, exactly. The aim is to apply what we learn at Le Mans in endurance racing, to apply it on road cars for everybody.
Tell me the stat. I'm sure you told us before about the target of 2050.
Sorry, can you repeat?
The target of 2050 with sustainable materials.
Yes, it's pretty clear. It's 100% in our tire. So we have a lot of work to do, but I think the target is pretty clear, and we are on our way, on a good way, and we show it every day and here at Le Mans for this weekend.
It's fantastic. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So Nick Tandy continues to lead. What'd you see there?
I was wondering whether that was a P2. I think it was. Wonder why I was going so slowly.
So 75 making its way through the Porsche curves.
He's going to be... No, he didn't come in. He should be coming in this time. He's down to 1% virtual...
He's not up to speed.
Yeah, there he goes.
That's why.
Yeah, but you'd still be up to speed all the way.
It didn't seem right. He wasn't on full throttle, was he?
Yeah.
Wonder if he's...
Is this a scheduled stop?
Well, it is. It should be, because his virtual energy was down to 1%.
Right,
so I'm wondering if he might have run it almost dry. Frank Biela, what went wrong?
Well, yeah, indeed. He came past Rexy, the 56 car, through to the lead again. Come Ferrari, 50 and 51.
Running nose to tail. Oh no, it's not the second one. I think the 51 car's not far behind, isn't it? 3 seconds gap.
Say again,
The leading car and the second place car are only 3 seconds apart.
Oh yes, yeah. Looks like a driver change, going to be tire change for the number 75. Means Nick Tandy will be out. 5 car also making a pit stop. Dane Cameron was behind the wheel of that car when it came out. I wonder if he's still in. We'll find out in a moment.
A moment of quiet, relatively.
Yes. Fred Makovic behind the wheel of that car right now.
Mate, you're leading the race at the moment. You're leading the race. Sister car 3 seconds behind. The previous lap was too much consumption. 70.7. We need 69.5 and 69.5, please. A bit more saving than previous lap.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Previous lap, too much energy usage. He was on 70.9 and they want him 69.5.
Well,
so
be warned
very
about that, because it's going to be it's going to be where they're scheduling for that for the stint length and pace they're looking for. Quite aside from what the rules say, but what you can do, remember that there are limits set within this rule set.
That's right.
It's part of the balancing that keeps the racing as close as the scene. Gentlemen, in what is this? Not even 6 hours of this race, we've been able to say Peugeot lead Le Mans, Ferrari lead Le Mans, Porsche lead Le Mans.
Cadillac leads Le Mans.
Absolutely extraordinary so far. Hertz Team Jota lead Le Mans.
Yeah.
What an astonishing opening, not even an opening quarter yet of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. In the centenary year, we've had some treats here, and that's just the hypercar class. LMP2 has been its usual battleground. Jota lead that class again as the pit stop cycle comes back around, and in the GTE AM class, well, we'll get to that. Let's have a listen to what's going on with Loic Duval aboard the 94 Peugeot 9X8.
Loic, you are running P3 right behind the 2 Ferraris. The Ferraris are running 31.5, 32.0. Go for it.
They're confident.
Go for it.
Go for it. The 7 car, by the way.
Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship will return on Motor Trend.
Give me a hot pink Cosmopolitan and some drama.
Give me a Kettle One soda. With a twist. Give me an early morning tea time and a Bloody Mary with Kettle One vodka.
Give me a cocktail with Kettle One vodka.
So many hotels.
Trouble booking the family vacay? Come on. Comfort does free hot breakfast for the whole fam. They have waffles. And splendid pools.
Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Mara, are you sure you don't want to go bowling with us tonight?
Yeah, no.
There's my little marzipan. Oh, my daughter gives the best hugs.
We're just passing through on our way to the Jazz Jamboree. And we wanted to thank America's #1 motorcycle insurer for saving us money.
Mara, your parents are
exactly like me.
I know, right?
Well, cherish your friends and loved ones.
Let's roll, Daddy-O.
Let's boogie woogie.
I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily Jardiance at each day start. As time went on, it was easy to see. I'm lowering my A1C.
Jardiance works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too. Jardiance may cause serious side effects including ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration that can lead to sudden worsening of kidney function, and genital yeast or urinary tract infections. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis. Taking Jardiance with the sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Jardiance is really swell, the little pill with the big story to tell.
Don't freak out, but you can get 50% off all menu price Domino's pizzas when you order online right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Right now?
Right now?
Right now.
50% off, honey, right now.
Now through the end of the week, get 50% off all menu price pizzas when you order online at Domino's.
You need parts? We got parts. Need it fast? We got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here at Red Arena, we are trying to help people through equine therapy. Working with the veterans has been a very amazing experience. Our little motto that we always say is empowerment through horses. I love what I do. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
God bless America!
We have to build a car on a budget.
Crank it. It sounds killer. We pulled off the impossible without breaking the bank.
Hit the gas on the best automotive entertainment with the Motor Trend app.
Very, very nice indeed.
All the shows you love, plus exclusive digital series. Get the app and get it all. Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship continues.
Just trying to see, is that car still there? It is. It has not moved from there, so it didn't look a big impact, did it?
No, it did not.
But
it also did look kind of squatted down.
I wonder whether the rear, because I think he got a rear right puncture, which over that's the mark, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
That car is still where it hit the wall.
The other thing we've not mentioned much of, but they're constantly on our screens, are drivers' laps deleted for using too much of the track limits. Sooner or later,
penalties are going to come.
Penalties will come.
Start to see, yeah.
That's
you get 5 free wins per car, right?
It is to do with the driver.
Oh, it's a 5 per driver.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's
it's
a little more fair.
It's the driver that actually gets the penalty, although the penalty might be served by the next driver.
Yeah.
But 2 incidents at the moment being managed by race control. So that means the DKR car must still be at the first chicane.
Yeah, he was pretty well beached.
It's not lack for drama, the 24 Hours of Le Mans this year. It doesn't show any signs that's going to change.
And one of the people that Peter was noticing going across the scoring monitor was Miguel Molina in that leading Ferrari. Had his last lap disallowed. Well, the lap time doesn't count. I shouldn't put it that way. It sounds like he's not scored on the lap. He was scored on the lap, but it just counts against his total of 5 free wins. Look out,
He's got trouble here.
That's a slow zone.
He was already. We noticed this earlier. The 963's hazard lights coming into a They clearly light those up and they're preparing to slow. But he wasn't quite under full control there. That could have been significantly more embarrassing or worse.
Well, we heard Sebastien Bourdais talking about the system in the car earlier on and how they get a warning saying that the next zone will be a yellow zone, and they've probably already done a lap. But he said sometimes it's delayed. I'm trying to look to see, are there actually yellow flags this far back, or are the first ones around the corners? And they actually... that first car there, did they slow down too much for
maybe he slowed down?
Still in the green zone, you know?
Oh, that's a good point. They may be slowing down.
The yellows were on the inside, so no, it was genuine.
Where they go again, so they clear the instant zone. Still not cleared it.
Keen on keeping his line in the Prema car.
That's Mirko Bortolotti, who is due to be one of Lamborghini's factory hypercar drivers when that programme debuts next year. Full season in the World Endurance Championship. And endurance season in the Intermediate Sports Car Championship ahead for that programme. With the next burst of expansion in this extraordinary period in international sports car racing. Under the Dunlop Bridge, the 8 car looks to deal with the 63.
Not sure there'll be a chance here. Probably not until he gets onto the Mulsanne straight.
Yeah, because they're about to come up to another slow zone. Unless the car has been removed at the first chicane.
No, that is still there at the moment. Oh, hang on. Slow this. No, it has gone. Yes.
Yep, so flat out now. Down the Mulsanne straightaway. You're on board with Nick Tandy. Using the slipstream, he'll go by the LMP2 number 63.
Significantly bigger challenge for the top class drivers in this era, the hypercar era. The hypercars well balanced between each other, but the margins between them and the LMP2s in a variety of parts of this race significantly smaller than they were back in the LMP1 days, and that is making things significantly more exciting.
Here's the 708 serving the penalty that Graham spoke of earlier.
Yeah, that 708 car, by the way, remember, started a lap down at the start of this race, did not join the grid. That was to do with a gearbox oil leak. Sits in 13th place now. And we'll see how that one pans out. I think it is 2 laps down now. That's just put it back onto 2 laps down. This is the 43 car that was off the road at the Daytona chicane. Why is it called the Daytona chicane? It was part of, the convergence process.
Yes.
Daytona chicane now is the first chicane on Pinaudière, the Mulsanne Straight, whereas conversely at the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona, at Daytona International Speedway, what used to be called the bus stop is now the Le Mans chicane.
Funny how that works.
Yeah, and indeed the curbs are painted.
That's right.
In the colours of their partner circuits at both circuits.
Here's a recovery drive for Vander Rangazanga. Let's see what's going on with this car.
So drink bottles are working, so at the stop I'm going to need some, guys. Making sure it's not a drink bottle from my name on it, but the one that actually sucks something through.
Yeah, 10-4. Let's check in the pits.
Did I hear from Steph?
We did indeed hear from Steph. I'm outside the number 10 Vector Sport. As you know, it had a little issue out there. It turns out it was a braking issue. So the front bodywork is off the car and the mechanics are working hard on the front left of the car. There has been a driver change, so I don't anticipate they shall be in the garage for too long, but they are working hard away at the minute.
So now we switch to the number 2 car. Currently in 4th position. Alex Lynn doing an excellent job in this car.
Yeah, he's been consistently quick, and lest we forget another one of just the little tableau that have made this Le Mans so special in the centenary year. Not wearing his own helmet colours, wearing those, and indeed the name on one side of Derek Bell. Great. So we're listening to what's going on aboard the number 2 with Alex Lynn.
The track is in quite a weird condition, man. Like it's still damp in the chicanes and stuff. It's a bit greasy.
Copy that. Copy that. You're doing a good job.
He is indeed doing a good job. This has been the area that's been causing so many problems in the last hour or so, Jim.
Well, and it's he's talking about the racetrack being very greasy. So this rain really has changed the texture of the racetrack.
Yeah.
It was full dry, and then as the rain kind of moved around the racetrack, it didn't just rain in one spot. It kind of moved around the racetrack. It has not come back to a full dry condition yet, has it? It doesn't seem like it from what they're telling us.
Kind of strange, that, because it's so warm still.
RC tossing this left, box, fuel only. Right.
So again, another car that's on a bit of a recovery drive is the 33 car. After those the stunning performance by Ben Keating in qualifying, the beginning of the race did not really go their way. And as he comes into the slow zone at the Porsche curves, this is of course still for that Aston Martin.
Is that car still there, or has that made it back to pit lane? Just checking, it's still there.
Still
That's
there.
not great. Vector Sport back out on track, is just hearing from Steph, and that was a 6-minute stop for the British team. British team, by the way, that either by the end of this season, or certainly for next, if they get the nod, will debut yet another new hypercar, the Isotta Fraschini. If you don't know what an Isotta Fraschini is, it's quite an old Italian marque, reborn. And that car has been designed and built with the help of Michelotto, who for many years looked after the Ferrari GT program. I'm going to leave you for a couple of hours in just a few moments, and we're going to hand over the mic to Guy Smith. That means from this chair, over the last 4 hours, we'll have had commentators with the sum total of 1 Le Mans win.
That's right, Guy Smith. Your eyes don't deceive you, Peter.
We are looking at the top three, aren't we?
Yeah,
and the Peugeot in between the two Ferraris.
That's right. Molina is now chased by Loic Duval. He's gotten by Antonio Giovinazzi. So Loic Duval is trying to push that Peugeot back to the front. I think it's the centenary of Le Mans.
I think I might just start calling it Peugeot as well, because then it's simple. It's tomato. I don't know how to say the word.
What's that, Peugeot?
I call them Peugeot, but it's probably you might be
American.
right.
I can't say
maybe
Peugeot. I've tried.
Maybe they are Peugeot.
That's right. It's like centenary or centenary. It's
Bahamas or the Caribbean.
Tomato, tomato.
Caribbean.
Oh. Guy Smith, welcome. Your thoughts so far?
Well, what a race.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm struggling to keep up with it. It's so much going on throughout all the classes. I'm really surprised by just the amount of accidents, really, and shunts. I mean, obviously, the weather conditions are pretty horrendous. I don't think I'd like to be driving in those kind of conditions. It looks really tricky. But, yeah, what a race we've got here at the front. The two Ferraris still going strong. And it's great to see the Peugeot of Loic Duval in third place. Actually, holding station. It's actually making some small gains, drops back a little bit in traffic, but they're very much in the hunt.
They really seem to like the mixed conditions, those cars, the Peugeots. They seem to handle well. Okay, we had the Jean-Eric Verne mistake down in Mulsanne, but in general, I think that the Peugeot does like the mixed conditions, and if rain comes back later in the race, then you might see them pop back up to the top again.
Yeah, I just popped down to the paddock. I just saw Paul di Resta doing a little rain dance outside of his garage. Yeah, who knows? I mean, I think they'll be definitely welcoming some showers for sure.
Magic number to hit here on the straightaways is 322. That's 200 miles per hour.
It's great to see the Cadillacs back in the mix again. Yes. I think the one thing about the new safety car rules, I mean, while it works, it doesn't work for some. It obviously does work for others, and it does allow that if you have had an issue, albeit a small issue where you've maybe lost a lap, as we saw with the Cadillac, the safety car does help them get their lap back and brings them back into contention. Whereas previously they would have kind of been spent the whole race just trying to gain that one lap back. So it's kind of doing what it was designed to do, to keep cars in play. But obviously, if you're in a situation where you've got a big lead, it maybe doesn't quite work out.
Yeah,
for you.
exactly. Giovinazzi has now gotten himself past the.
We swap positions in Arnage. We swap positions in Arnage or Indy, whatever is easier for you. There's no traffic in front. We swap positions now.
So word coming out for the 50 and 51 to swap positions.
So I think that's already happened, hasn't it? So 50,
yes,
50 was
Giovinazzi
in
is
front,
leading.
and
That's
now,
exactly right. Yes. Yeah, that's already happened.
So why?
But now we know why it happened. That they were told to do it. They're getting ready for a pit stop, and that will put them in proper order when they come into the pits, so that 51 is in the pit stall that's closest to pit out. So they'll come in tandem, nose to tail, and leave that way as well, as opposed to one stopping, the other having to work his way around.
Is that a fight for position? I'm sure it is.
It sure is. Is it the 75 or the? Yes, it is. So that is the battle for position.
So 5th position, number 8. Brennan Hartley aboard the Toyota.
Yeah, that will become the
Nick Tandy looking at the back of him.
Yeah, that will become the battle for third position here shortly, when the 50 and 51 make their way to the pit lane. But right now, that is the battle for 5th.
So tight, the hypercars, the prototypes are so much quicker through these corners than the GT cars, and if they get stuck behind them, they really lose so much time. So they have to take these big risks to go around the outside, not to lose too much time. But really, it's kind of heart in the mouth stuff, really, when you see them go around the outside.
How distracting are those strobes that you get during the?
Well, annoying, but maybe that's why they're on. Just to annoy the car behind.
Well, that's a sign that they're harvesting, which is that's important to know. Again, we're seeing the Toyotas, especially the 8. Pardon me, especially the 8 car, being able to be very quick and put a lot of life in those soft tires. Porsche on mediums. It's kind of
Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship will return on Motor Trend.
It's time for a better gift this Father's Day. Give Dad the outdoor fun and flavor that's better on a Blackstone. With more than 8 million griddles sold, Blackstone is the way America cooks outdoors, creating better family celebrations with enormous variety for the whole family. Dad's gonna flip when he sears this. So go to the nearest Blackstone retailer or log on to blackstoneproducts.com. Blackstone, better.
I got into debt in college, and no matter how much I paid, it followed me everywhere. So I consolidated it into a low-rate personal loan from SoFi.
Get a personal loan with low fixed rates and borrow up to $100K. SoFi, get your money right.
You work hard. So does your truck. Summit Racing has the parts, tools, and accessories like toolboxes, headache racks, fender flares, wheels, tires, and more to get the job done right. But we know what they say about all work and no play. That's why you'll also find what you need to take your truck from workhorse to weekend warrior. Plus, you'll get unbeatable customer service, tech advice, and same-day shipping. Order now at summitracing.com. Everything you need for anything you drive.
Meet the team, all using Chase to keep up with their finances. Smart bankers, convenient tools. Boom. One bank with the power of both. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Also played the lead in the school play.
When you're with your club, comfort is all around. A club is all you need.
We found the right model. Now what would make you feel comfortable with the price?
Well, no one made me feel more comfortable than my kindergarten teacher, Miss Jane.
This one is special.
And this one is also special.
What's really special is saying, show me the Carfax value. You'll get the most accurate price based on the vehicle's accident history. Look for me and stop overpaying. Shop at the all-new Carfax.com.
New projects means new project managers. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/hire and get started today.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
Hey guys, Jefferson White here in the heart of the Ozarks with my friends at One Country. They are giving away over 60 acres of land, plus this incredible cabin. You can enter to win right now at onecountry.com.
Some things are better left to a professional.
In hindsight, probably shouldn't have tried to remove my own appendix.
Like when it comes to finding financial advisors.
What was I thinking?
So leave it to Smart Asset to find them for you. Take the free quiz at smartasset.com. Then you'll be matched with up to 3 vetted fiduciary financial advisors. To get started, scan the code and take the advisor match quiz.
I was this close. This close.
God bless America! We have to build a car on a budget. Crank it. It sounds killer. We pulled off the impossible without breaking the bank.
Hit the gas on the best automotive entertainment with the Motor Trend app.
Very, very nice indeed.
All the shows you love, plus exclusive digital series. Get the app and get it all. Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship continues.
So here is that lead battle, or second place battle, I think, in LMP2. No, it's further back than that. '35 car, 8th place.
And the Jota car still leading in LMP2.
Yep.
See the flies buzzing around.
That is something,
in the evening.
Then we wonder why when we get the onboard shots, it looks like they're pitted.
This is time now for all the photographers on the circuit. Getting some great shots of the cars. What great light as we start to go into the nighttime. You see the headlights really kind of shining and see the cars spitting flames, and you see the brake discs glowing and lighting up. It's really, really kind of magical time.
If the, well, no, we're not too early yet. We'd be about, if the sun was, if it wasn't so cloudy, we'd be in the gloaming, be in that golden light.
I think as a driver, it's actually quite a nice time because it's kind of, the track's actually quite quick because it's, you know, it starts to cool down. You've still got the daylight so you can see. So it's actually quite a nice time to go into the car. And I think Peter and I were talking about it earlier on, you know, going into the nighttime, this is a really, really kind of nice time to be in the car. Probably the only time that's better is what we call happy hour, which is sort of early morning as you come out of the night into the morning, into the daylight.
First and second place cars in the pits together in LMP2. Oliver Rasmussen and Albert Costa.
Rasmussen is one of 14 Danish drivers in the race.
Yes. Yeah, tell me Tom Christensen and Jan Magnussen haven't had an influence.
Well, when I was driving around this morning in the parade, I was behind Tom Christensen, and there's a mass of Danish fans at Arnage. So I'm sure there are plenty of Danish flags flying at Arnage for these Danes.
It used to be last one out, bring the flag, because the entire country would come to this event.
That's how I know there's 14, because I met one last night in town, a Danish fan.
Oh, you mean 14 drivers? I thought you meant 14 fans.
No, there's a few more than that.
I think so. This is the battle for 8th. 35. Then 40 set. No, that's not the cool racing.
of sequence in between them. That's it.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to find it in scoring.
That's the Alpine car, is it the Alpine car?
.35, 31, and 63. So that's
so 31, 63 are fighting for position, but
they're further down. That's the battle for 16th and 17th in the LMP2 category. They're trying to catch and pass the 35 car, which is in 8th position. So that's Ollie Caldwell in the 35.
So United Autosports now into the lead of LMP2 with Ollie Jarvis. Jota in second, and then followed by WRT. So
here's the
94.
Again, the first chicane proving to be problematic.
Yeah, doing the clever thing though, if you think you can't make the corner and you're a bit locked up, just straight line it.
Just straight line it.
Yeah, the drivers that come in too hot and go for the commitment, that's the drivers that might spin in there, and we've seen quite a few hit the wall or beach themselves in the gravel. In fact, one of the Toyotas came very close to doing that as well.
Patrick Pilet, formerly Porsche factory GT driver in the 39 car, battling for 17th position with Rocco Bortolotti in the Prema Racing number 63. Prema's had a pretty good season in LMP2 this year.
Yeah, I think the 63 car will be disappointed that it's so far down at the stage, because I think they really fancy themselves, you know, for a podium, if not a win. So
that's one of they're almost on the level of AF Corsa with numbers. I think that's one of 3 entries in LMP2 that they have. 2 for sure. 9 and 63.
Big outfit, that's for sure. Obviously, they're in Formula 3, Formula 2 as well.
The graphic may have been erroneous because it's the 31 and the 63. The 63 has gotten by the 31, and now scoring clicks over to show that change when they go by the next loop. It wasn't the 39 car. The 39 car wasn't involved in this little battle.
there's Alex Lynn with his Derek Bell tribute helmet on. I spoke to Derek yesterday, and he was very, very thrilled that Alex had done that. I
bet that meant a lot to him. That's the kind of...
He really did.
There's a certain amount... he understands... I think Derek understands not only the history, but his place in that history. And I think it means a lot to him to know that, to see a younger driver...
Acknowledge
that, yes, thank you. So the United Autosports number 23 now with a 4-second lead. Let's check back in with the Toyotas. Brendan Hartley.
Okay, Brendan, we now see some dots of rain on the radar.
Oh,
possibly coming to the ups. We'll keep you informed.
I had a little break up there on where the rain is, but they're going to keep him informed. So
that was not what he wanted to hear.
No, absolutely did not want to hear that, especially as it's getting dark and he knows he's in for another stint. So he's got to deal with potential, well, if it rains heavily and they have to go to wet tyres, then he will get out at that stage.
The driver of number 85 at Iron Dames. Congratulations. It's going well for you so far, isn't it?
Well, so far, so good. Finger crossed. To be honest, last year we had a puncture, I think, after 10 minutes and lost 2 laps. So clearly it's starting better. The conditions were apocalyptic out there. when I did the first time the straight line under the safety car, I was like, I have no idea where I'm going. If there is a car in front of me or not, I have no idea. So it was really, even under safety car, quite difficult. But I'm quite happy with the call the team has made so far. The car is really nice to drive. But, you know, it's a very long race. We have done just a little part of it. And we'll keep the head down, stay focused. I trust my teammate, I trust my team. And so far, they're doing an amazing job. So, yeah, I'll try to rely on that.
And we're heading into the night time. Are you about to get some rest before you're back in the car in the darkness?
Yeah, well, I actually like the dark a lot. I think in Le Mans it's amazing to drive in the dark. It feels so quiet in the car. I'm actually looking forward to my night stint. But now it's Michi who will get into the dark. But she has done an amazing job so far all season. So I trust her with all my heart.
All right, well, best of luck to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Michelle, that she's talking about is Michelle Gatting, who's in the car now. That car circulates in 4th place behind the JMW Motorsports number 66 Ferrari. They, of course, are number 54 Ferrari and the number 25 TF Sport car, the Aston Martin.
It's good to hear her so buoyant, isn't it?
Oh,
she's having a mega time out there.
Oh, that team of racers is just, they're fantastic for the sport because they're so enthusiastic, they're very media savvy, and they're very fast. Sarah had a wonderful race with Ben Keating, I think it was at Portimao, where the two of them were just nose to tail for lap after lap, swapping spots back and forth. And the two of them got out of the car, and it was like they rushed down to the pits just to shake hands because they both enjoyed racing each other so much. It was a fantastic. So let's see if we can see some spots of rain on any of these onboard windshields.
It's hard to see anything out of this windshield.
So obviously on the car, they actually have the tear-offs like you get on a helmet. So what they'll do is they'll probably run it until it gets to a point where the driver will say, look, the next pit stop, you don't want to use them all, obviously, in the first few hours because you've got nothing left for the rest of the race. So as soon as it becomes, much worse, they'll take that tear off and they'll have much better vision, particularly when they go into nighttime.
We were talking to the optics people about that, and they put the windscreens come with 12 tear-offs applied. So you got to make each one last at least 2 hours.
So double stint the tear-offs.
You got a double stitch tear-off. Yeah. How different the light is on this racetrack at this point because the cloud cover is so much thicker over the Mulsanne straightaway. It's darker when they get to the other side of the racetrack up around the Porsche curves. There's breaks in the clouds, so the sun that's going down is still giving it enough light that it looks completely different. You see how light the sky is as you see it occasionally as the camera pans. The Toyotas are back on top. 7 and 8, Brendan Hartley, Jose Maria Lopez. Nick Tandy chases in 3rd, and then the first of the Ferraris, Giovinazzi. Now, it looks like the 50 car has made another pit stop because he is now on an outlap. That was certainly unscheduled. We didn't see it.
And Nicholas Nielsen at the wheel now.
At the wheel now. Loic Duval continues to circulate now in 6th position. Their pit stop. Although it says both on 7 pit stops. So if it was an extra pit stop for the 50, it would say 8. So Andre Lauder has had a track limits violation. Rain expected now at Marshall Post 2 through 5.
So that's pretty much the start of the lap through to
almost to Tetrouge.
Yeah,
almost to Tetrouge. Because Marshall Post 6 is Tetrouge.
You see the Porsche looks behind the Toyota, looks really strong through the Porsche corners there. He actually gained a little bit of time.
I think the Porsche lose a little bit on straight line. Toyota's certainly very strong. That could be, of course, downforce on the car, and that's why the Porsche is so good in the Porsche curves. and is able to close back up again, and he might lose a little bit straight line because they're carrying a bit more wing.
There's that bright sky I was talking about, and you can see how going through the Ford chicane, that little bit of sunlight just wreaks havoc for the drivers of these dirty, piffed up windshields.
It's always a challenge here at Le Mans with the setup. You know, do you go for a car that is low downforce and super fast on the straights, or do you go for a car that's got a little bit more downforce, that's a bit more secure in the corners, but you obviously get more drag with that? So it's always trying to find that trade-off of what the balance is. And
of course, in the wet conditions, and we are likely to see more wet conditions, you want more downforce as well. So that should come back towards the Porsche.
Sometimes it also helps keep the tyres. If you want to do 3 stints, if the car isn't sliding around as much, it can also help the life of the tyre. I mean, we've seen before in the American races, the Porsche can be quite hard on its rear tyres. I mean, there's certainly nothing wrong currently with the 75 car. They're really having a great run here, and certainly putting the Toyotas under a lot of pressure here.
Tandy hits 337. That's 209 miles per hour before the breaking point for the chicane.
Sparking car on the left there.
Yep.
Either lost a tyre or lost a wheel, and got a long way back to the pits from there. Can we tell what car that was?
Yeah, we might be able to. Let's check in with the...
that's the 709.
We expect rain at the Dunlop at Tête Rouge in the next 10 minutes.
So there's what we were talking about earlier, the report to the LMP2 leader that rain expected from Dunlop to Tête Rouge. That is the 709, which is on an outlap. So I wonder if maybe they didn't get the wheel nuts on correctly or something.
Definitely front left, isn't it?
Yeah, did he come out the pits?
Yeah, he'd just come out of the pits. It was his, it's on his outlap. Oh, that's a long way around. That's frustrating.
Now, this is the longest lap ever, isn't it?
Yeah. The crew discussing.
He stopped.
No, he's just very slow. It's taken him so long to get to the next timing line that it is saying that he stopped, but he was still moving. He's not moving very quickly, but he is still moving. He's not moving fast. When he trips the next timing line, it'll probably go away. He's almost to the
Yeah, you're right. I think his damage is so great now that he's decided, well, I'll just bring this home very slowly.
Very slowly.
Otherwise, I'll cause way more damage.
There is your LMP2 leader, the aforementioned Oliver Rasmussen. At one point, we had Jota, the little company that could, small firm out of England, leading both the hypercar class overall and the LMP2 class. It's going to have to be a big comeback drive for that double to happen in the hypercar class, as the 38 car is down probably about 4 laps at this point, down 26th position overall.
So Nick Tandy takes the lead again as both Toyotas pit.
Wow, an uncharacteristic mistake there as the car overshot its pit box, unless that's what happens when you don't come in order, in proper order in tandem. You have to go past and back yourself back in.
So we've seen the Ferraris organize themselves on track before they come into the pits, and it looks like the Toyotas didn't do that, and they came in the wrong order, because we did have Brennan Hartley, who's sitting in the car there. He was leading those two, the 8 car.
It's a big test for these guys now because they're under some serious pressure, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, this is actually really testing them, and how do they react to this pressure? You know, do they crack, or do they step up? And you know, certainly a super strong team, and it's great to see them in a battle. And
it will test their mettle, and they've been they've been waiting for that. They don't have a problem with that. There is the 709 carrying on, and
all right,
there you go. The wheel was the wheel obviously was not the nut was not secured.
Is that if the nut wasn't secured, surely the wheel would just come off. Was that not more suspension?
Well, if it got jammed up under the bodywork, as long as he doesn't go too fast, it may stick. But yes, it could also be suspension.
That's
or
a shame
as it
for
was
them.
coming off, it may have damaged the suspension.
They were having a pretty good run.
They were consistent. They were ticking off the laps. Discussion down in the Toyota pit.
Ooh, big lock up there.
That's the 30 car.
That's Duquesne.
Yeah, Duquesne team. Neil Yanni.
We're getting rain reports on track. We're getting some rain reports on track.
So rain reports on track. Also, they've asked the drivers to put their rain lights on low mode.
I've seen slippery surface. It's removed now at March +6. So
right now, it looks like all things are dry at the Porsche curves. And in comes, I suspect, the number 75, which will put 75 in the pits. That will put Pierre Guidi back to the front of the field. Anybody looking for a Father's Day present? How about a Porsche steering?
the JMW team doing a really good job. They've got quite a healthy lead now in GTE over the Iron Dames car, 33 seconds. So they're doing a strong job.
And that's a comeback drive for them because they had the big crash in the first free practice. So that's rewarding the guys for a lot of hard work.
Yeah, they've had a fast car all week, actually. They obviously were not able to qualify, and they've not had the smoothest of weeks, but they have been quick when they've been on track. So they've obviously managed to work their way forward in the race and in a strong position right now.
Looks like it's going to be a steering wheel change for the number 75. Once the fueling is done, then they can do work on the car. Left side, right side tires are going on. New steering wheel going on. Old one comes out.
So who's out of the wheel now?
Jaminet.
Yeah, that's our Long Beach winner in IMSA. This team won. We have the winners of Sebring are here. The IMSA Sebring winners are here in the 311 car. The Long Beach winners are here in this 75 car. So we're wondering why these teams are competitive. They have had success in America, like other teams have had success in the World Endurance Championship.
Oh, look at is that wet?
That's the wet now, yeah.
It's starting to get wet. We had the yellow flag up at Marshall Post 3, which was under the bridge, and then now we're seeing
that's straight out of the pits on cold tires, straight into the wet.
Under the wet.
That's not
well. There won't be cold tires.
Stephanie says it's now chucking it down in the pits, so
they'll be cold now.
Yeah,
and wet. Yeah.
And then here at once they get through Tête Rouge, out onto the Mulsanne straightaway, looks dry as a bone.
I'm looking at the gap up between the two Ferraris. Remember, not long ago, they were running nose to tail. But Pierre Guidi is a 13-second gap over Nicholas Nielsen now.
I think this is,
rain,
yeah,
look
you
at
can
the
see
rain.
the rain coming down, and that's the 911, I think, going around.
Right, back on the throttle. Yeah, good. Got out of there.
There you go. Got out of there.
Oh,
and then further on,
tricky.
Once they got under the bridge, the 34, yep, going by the 911. So he was able to get back going.
So now will be interesting to see, like Duval and the Peugeot, to see if they really do have a good, strong, wet pace. So they're thinking about the wet tyres now.
See, I told you.
Wow, that's interesting.
I told you Paul di Resta was doing a rain dance, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Did he have full pom-poms and everything? There goes the delage, and you can see that it is raining now. Hard on pit lane, as we were told.
So I suppose now the statisticians will be looking at time lost on a set of slicks on this one section of track versus putting the car on wets and running it for the rest of the dry lap.
Exactly right.
Well, they've actually got some data now, haven't they? They've kind of done it already once today, where they're kind of trying to work out what to do. Do we go for the wets, which is probably the safe choice?
So we've had a car off then. That's 28.
That's the Jota.
Is that the Jota? Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yeah,
that was their class leading.
Yeah,
that was our class leading LMP2 car. Oliver Rasmussen behind the wheel of that car, and he has done some damage to the right front.
Yeah, it looks like he's gone in front first, doesn't it?
Yep. Don't tear off any more than you need to, son. 50 car in the pits. Now, is this to switch to softs, or is that to... That was a short...
Yeah, I think
Peugeot putting on wets.
Most of the cars are going to go to wets, especially as it's getting dark. It's that bit harder.
Yeah, the rest of the track will be cooler, so you'll extend the life of it a little bit.
Of course, the other unknown is if there's some...
Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship will return on Motor Trend.
Dads are special. Fun. Inspiring. Always there for you. So make Father's Day extra special with gifts he'll love from WeatherTech. Floor liners, cargo liner, seat protector, sunshade, ready-to-wash system, and cup phone. Or our newest product, the golf cart mat. Order these American-made gifts or gift card at WeatherTech.com. Have a very happy Father's Day.
My A1C was up here. Now it's down with Rebelsis.
His A1C?
It's down with Rebelsis.
My doctor told me Rebelsis lowered A1C better than a leading branded pill.
And that people taking Rebelsis lost more weight. I got to my A1C goal and lost some weight too.
Rebelsis isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't take Rebelsis if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Rebelsis and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Gallbladder problems may occur. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Rebelsis with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Need to get your A1C down?
You may pay as little as $10 per prescription.
Give me a hot pink Cosmopolitan and some drama.
Give me a Kettle One soda. With a twist. Give me an early morning tea time and a Bloody Mary with Kettle One vodka.
Give me a cocktail with Kettle One vodka.
Don't freak out, but you can get 50% off all menu price Domino's pizzas when you order online right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Right now? Right now?
Right now.
50% off, honey! Right now!
Now through the end of the week, get 50% off all menu price pizzas when you order online at Domino's.
Need a little help? We got help. Need some advice? We got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
24 hours on the clock. The ball is underway. Now they can believe.
Annoyed by ugly paint chips in your car but afraid to use touch-up paint? Dr. Color Chip creates permanent professional repairs, blending it to match your car's paint. Simply apply the paint, level, and blend. Dr. Color Chip custom mixes the original factory color, guaranteeing an exact color match. Go to drcolorchip.com. Use our search tool to find your year, make, and model and choose your car's color code and select your kit. It's that easy. Dr. Color Chip. That's drcolorchip.com.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy. What? And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Performances, too.
Oh, come on!
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Hey guys, Jefferson White here in the heart of the Ozarks with my friends at One Country. They are giving away over 60 acres of land, plus this incredible cabin. You can enter to win right now at onecountry.com.
Hit the gas on the best automotive entertainment with the Motor Trend app.
Very, very nice indeed.
All the shows you love, plus exclusive digital series. Get the app and get it all. Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship continues.
That
Toyota
I
had
don't
to
know what
absolutely
happened there.
bail out of that.
He got in there and had nowhere to go, and
Who was it that was stopped? There was a car literally stopped in the pit lane, wasn't it?
So what's going on all around now?
So as long as that Jota isn't, not that Jota, the other Jota, the P2 car isn't too badly damaged, they've actually, it's not as bad as it could have been for them.
Oh, exactly.
Because, this weather conditions, the slow zones.
Okay, so the 7 made it into the pits seemingly unscathed. There is the 28 car. That'll be a nose change. They're going to check obviously check it over for other damage, but if it is no suspension damage and just a nose, that's a pretty good break. Slow zones now, slow zone 2, I'm sorry, slow zone 4. Now there's 90. The 22 car, the 9 car.
They're all parking themselves.
Yeah. That's at Indianapolis.
Oh, contact.
That's the,
90.
That's the Turkey.
That's the 923 Spirited Turkey making contact with the 9.
So there's Jarvis, just locked a wheel.
Yep, there's 22.
Great job. Just managed to get the car stopped. No damage.
Heart in mouth moment.
Yeah, exactly. 66. If they're telling us stop already. All you're going to do is dig yourself deeper.
And those guys that were having such a great run.
Yes.
I think we cursed them because they were doing so well.
No such thing.
Oh.
That's the. That's the worst thing in the world.
You can see after that, when you're about to have a crash, it just goes in slow motion.
Yeah, racing team Turkey.
You can just see it, feel it happening.
Thing is, though,
you got no control.
You're locked sort of did have control. He could have just come off the brakes and driven. He would have hit the tire wall probably, but he could have. He froze and just hard on the brake. If he'd have just come off the brake, he'd have got some steering back. But it's easy to sit here and say that. Very easy to sit and not have any stress and have a bit of a chat.
Another car.
Now the 100 in the gravel again. This is at least his second trip to the gravel. The first rain shower we had sent him off at Porsche curves.
This really is survival now. Just trying to keep the car at the wall.
Well, let's see what the Cadillac and the Corvette thinks of what's going on.
You're doing a great job. We're trying to stay out to get a safety car. That's what we're trying to do here. Heavy rain at the King of Indianapolis. Heavy rain.
Oh, boy.
Heavy rain, heavy rain, heavy rain.
That's dangerous. Trying to get a safety car. Staying out on slicks.
Meaning he's still on slicks, yeah. And where are we now? So we're on the Mulsanne straight now, are we? Yeah, that's the second chicane. And it's very wet there.
Oh, yeah. There's the 66 car being brought over so he can get back underway.
That's the thing. You would think that they would just say, okay, you can drop it there and you can drive away, but I think they've got different ideas where they take it right out of the way, don't they? And then
let him get started, pull back out on the racetrack where he's not going to be in danger of anybody.
So the Turkey car's still going anyway, just in front after its little bit of contact.
There's the 9 car has made it back in.
I'd imagine it's got damage on the rear. Look at the rear left.
Oh, yeah.
Because it took an impact, so the wheel will be pointing out the way.
He'll have to go back in for repairs, I'm sure. 63 car. There's a 66 back underway.
I wish we had a carbon shop, guys, because I think we're doing quite well now. We're going to be running out of parts soon at this rate.
Oh, yeah, look at that. That's
a shame.
That's looking a bit second-hand at this point.
Luck of the draw, very unlucky there. Obviously, several cars going off in exactly the same place, and 2 of them made contact.
I mean, in LMP2, quite a lot of the front runners you would expect to be contenders for the win are actually now dropped out.
Yes, yep. This is going to open this up. Right now, Inter Europol is leading. Fabio Scherer behind the wheel of the number 34 car. United Autosports' Tom Bloomquist in the 23 cars hanging in second. Third is the other WRT team, number 41, with Robert Kubica behind the wheel. Now there's a guy who can pedal in the wet. And all his rally experience, his Formula One wet experience, that car's in good hands in the wet, I would think. Here's the 51 car, Alessandro Perguidi.
But you can barely see anything.
Hitting the brakes on the straightaway.
Just had a message from Karun Chandok. He says, absolutely under no circumstances are we to have another safety car. All right, mate.
I'll get right on that memo. So the 66 car has made it back to the pits. And I am sure that Eduardo Freitas is loath to put out another safety car. But these guys need to, the accelerator goes in both directions. And they just need to be a little mindful of that. Let's check in the pits.
Hi guys, I am at the number 923 racing team Turkey, where we've just had a driver change of Sally Yoluch for Tom Gamble, who is now in the car. But that car has actually received both a front and back wing change.
So that's repair of that damage. From the wreck, the 50 car is now on an outlap. So how have things shaken out so far in the pit stops and the rain? We've got Pierre Guidi leading in the Ferrari number 51. Loic Duval in the Peugeot and number 94 is second. Cadillac with Richard Westbrook in the blue number 2 car is third. Fourth is the first of the Toyotas, Kamui Kobayashi.
Under 15 seconds to remove slow zone 4. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow zone 4 is now clear. Slow zone 4, it's now clear.
So the racetrack is yours, boys. Have at it. There are no slow zones currently on the racetrack, but the racetrack in some spots is very wet.
So I would imagine the car. What was the car that stayed out on slicks? I imagine he's probably
pitted by now. That's the 33 car. Yep.
And And you can see just when he goes to power, the car moving around. It's just... It's like...
He went between two cars there, didn't he?
Yeah, sometimes when you're in this position, you feel like you're driving so slowly. You know, you feel like, oh, I'm not really pushing, I need to...
Yeah.
And actually, you're actually going quick, you know, for the conditions. And it's so difficult to know how hard to push.
Okay, this is an area where the racetrack is not very wet, so makes it a little bit easier for these drivers. Still a little bit of spray, still a little bit of moisture.
So the two winners out of that whole situation were the 51 Ferrari. Pierre Guidi's got a 27-second gap over Loic Duval. Let's keep an eye on that, because as we thought, the Peugeot is pretty handy in the wet. So let's see if you can bring it down a bit.
And also the other one that did pretty well in that was Richard Westbrook in the 2 car.
Yeah.
He's only another 14 seconds behind Loic Duval.
And actually, one of the big losers was the 50 Ferrari.
Yes.
I think, is it because they had to make 2 stops? They just pitted and then they had to come back in again.
Right. That's the 3 Cadillac. To go down another lap, currently in 8th position. So the leading Ferrari, number 51, is lapped up through 8th position.
So is that Westbrook there?
And no, Westbrook's in the 2 car. That's the 3 car that's right. No, that is
the blue.
That's one of the LMP2 cars.
Ah, I see. Because Kobayashi's just gone by Westbrook.
Right. Yeah, that's an LMP2 car.
Yeah, you're right.
The Ferraris.
709.
Because the 3 cars off in the distance there.
Yeah, the 709's picked up a penalty, a 1-minute stop and go for a technical infringement.
Probably too many people working out in the pits.
That was the car that was limping back very slowly, wasn't it? So Ferrari goes straight on to the first chicane.
Yep. Well, that's at the Dunlop chicane he went straight on.
Yeah. Yeah, first, yeah, that's what I mean. Turn 2.
Thank you.
So gentle on the throttle.
Oh, yeah.
Just hit a little bit of water, a puddle, and you're hard on the gas, and the car will snap.
You can see there, yeah, Peter, he's just wobbling around. It's just if you drop your wheel off on an exit curve, get on some of the paint there, it's...
with a little bit of steering lock on,
yeah,
car goes round. Okay, there's Richard Westbrook in the 2 car.
Currently in 4th. There's the 7, which just passed him moments ago.
Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship will return on Motor Trend.
How do we decide what hotel to book?
Fear not, I got you. Choice Hotels has a hotel for every type of stay. Like a comfort with the kiddos.
Spacious.
That's what they all say. Stay twice and get a $50 gift card when you book direct at choicehotels.com.
Another round. I'm good.
Let's do a song.
Isn't it absolutely bonkers that you can walk into a store, hand someone a piece of plastic, and they will willingly hand over Reese's cups? Forget flying cars. This is it. We're at the pinnacle.
Now, as we see here in chart 25, the data you've been waiting for, we have an ROI of 2.4%.
What the? Sorry.
Hey, honey. I took your Mustang out to get detailed.
Oh, yeah, I figured.
If you love your car, you owe it to yourself to call Grundy Insurance. You'll pay less than half the cost of standard insurance with no depreciation and no deductibles.
Grundy Insurance, the gold standard for collector cars since 1947. Give us a call.
Wealth-changing question. Is your investment portfolio really customized? Some advisors say they customize them, but all they really do is ask you a few questions, then put all your money in a model portfolio. Here at Creative Planning, each of our private wealth management clients' portfolios is unique. Your investment mix will be based on your custom financial plan. If that's not how your money's managed, you're not getting the customization you deserve. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Sigue brillando. Lace. Stay golden. Don't freak out, but you can get 50% off all menu price Domino's pizzas when you order online right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Right now?
Right now? Right now.
50% off, honey! Right now!
Now through the end of the week, get 50% off all menu price pizzas when you order online at Domino's.
When you live with moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, your day can be full of reminders of your condition. You weren't made for UC or Crohn's, but Entyvio is. In clinical trials, Entyvio helped many people achieve long-term relief and remission. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. Although unlikely, a risk of PML, a rare, serious, potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, experience frequent infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Liver problems can occur. Ask your doctor about Entyvio.
Entyvio, Entyvio, Entyvio.
Ooh, Tracy, look. She's going for the bin.
Oh my, look at her scoop.
Thank you.
Hey, Stacy, what do you think he's doing with that bottle?
Oh no, he's gonna throw it in the trash. I can't look.
Wait. He's putting it in his bag to recycle later.
Way to go, Mr. Brown Shoes.
Hey, up here.
Can you see this? I could watch humans all day long.
We are, and we do.
God bless America!
We have to build a car on a budget.
Crank it. It sounds killer.
We pulled off the impossible without breaking the bank.
Hit the gas on the best automotive entertainment with the Motor Trend app.
Very, very nice indeed.
All the shows you love, plus exclusive digital series. Get the app and get it all. Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship continues.
Is the car okay, Richard? Question?
Yeah, I just can't see with the Wi-Fi. It's so dangerous.
Copy that. We are trying.
Yeah, Richard is too. We talked about the 33 car earlier. Let's find out just how that strategy didn't work out.
I'm here in the pit lane at number 33, Corvette Racing with Nico Veron. You've just jumped out of the car. Tell us about the conditions out there, because they look pretty dicey.
Yeah, well, for us, it was pretty crazy. So we were full of water, it was like a swimming pool out there, and we were on slicks also, like in the last part, so it was pretty crazy. I was just going into Mulsanne straight, like 80 kph, 4 gear. I was aquaplaning, going really slow, and the hypercars, everyone passing me like really fast, so yeah, it was scary to say. But all in all, we can keep the car clean, we can make it back to the box and continue the race, but yeah, it was pretty tough out there.
Yeah, so earlier on it was very difficult for you, but you guys have so much pace today and during this race, don't you?
Yeah, I just got out. I don't know how was the pace. Maybe it was good, but yeah, for sure I was giving my all. I feel like we tried to stay out on slicks, but then proper rain came out. So yeah, I think there we lost a little bit of time, but this is racing and this can happen. It's just about managing the risk and see where we end up.
Okay, well, we'll see you in a few hours when you do your next stint.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pierre Guidi had pulled out about a 45-second lead on Loic Duval. Well, that's because, a quick look at the last lap, he was 18 seconds quicker. He's turned in 409s in these conditions. Everybody behind him is 427, 425, 452 for the 50 car. He's obviously very comfortable. The closest to him is the Toyota number 8 with Hayakawa behind the wheel.
Yeah, different conditions for everyone. Yeah. Obviously, the same condition, but different feelings in the car and confidence levels. And also depends on how much traffic you're around. If you're in, and because we heard from Richard Westbrook, I think it's difficult for everyone to see. And if you can't fully commit down the straights and commit to passing manoeuvres, then you just lose seconds.
Yeah, you don't lose tenths of seconds at that point. You start to lose seconds. Here's a look at the overall classification. They've completed 80 laps, working lap 81. 17 and a half hours to go. Of course, a Ferrari 499, number 51, leads. So it's Ferrari, Peugeot, Toyota, and Cadillac in the top four different manufacturers. And further down, see the two Glickenhauses rounding out the hypercar class in LMP2. It's Inter Europol, having completed 77 laps, is leading. The Jota car back out has dropped down to 24th overall. They were leading the class until they had problems in this most recent rain shower. Leader in GT Am is the Iron Danes, number 85. They're chased by the Project 1 Porsche, the number 56. That's the Rexy car. JMW Porsche number 66. We saw a crash early in that last rain session. And we have 5 cars out of the race. The number 83 Ferrari, the 16 and 60 Porsches, the 55 Aston Martin, the 21 Ferrari, the 13 Tower Motorsports, and the number 14 Nielsen Racing out of LMP2.
Yeah, the 51 car has been making all the right moves, all the right calls so far to be in the position they're in. And, they seem to have just played a blinder here. So
down to 404s.
So over a minute gap now to Loic Duval behind.
Yeah. So the racetrack is obviously improving because we're seeing many of the lap times come down now a little bit. But like you said, they've caught this just right.
I think the hardest thing is if you jump in the car now in the middle of the situation, it's finding where you can push. Whereas if you've been in the car from the start, you kind of start to understand where the grip is and where the track's worst or better. And at least you can acclimatise. But, I mean, just look at the awful visibility they've got.
And Kobayashi is a little bit, a lot of movement in the car.
Okay, Joe, update on conditions. We don't see rain at the circuit anymore. Obviously, still quite a lot of water on track, but we don't see rain at the moment. Okay. Once I go behind the car, I see nothing.
Yeah, but when I go behind a car, I see nothing. There you go. How hard is that? I mean, is it just hoping for the best? Or
it is luck. It is a lot of luck involved. I mean, you think about it, your brain says, right, put your foot flat, and you could drive down there flat out, and the car wouldn't do anything, there's enough downforce and grip. But then you see lights in front of you, and your foot just starts to ease off the gas pedal, and you're, no, flat, and you're, no, I want to lift off. So you've got the devil and the angel on your shoulders, just trying to protect you. But yeah, I've been in that situation many times, and another track bad for that is Nürburgring. Nürburgring, 24 hours,
the fog and everything. Yeah.
And it's very hairy, but the situation is you've got to commit. And at the moment we've got the guy right up the front who's obviously very committed. 404 last time round, and as we talked about, Loic Duval, next car 420, then a 416, 422. So he's just gradually pulling away more and more and more. And if he can just keep that all together, and when this all clears up and it gets dry again, he's going to end up with potentially a couple of minutes gap over the next second place car.
Yeah, the only guy kind of matching him really is Jaminet in the 75 Porsche. He's lapping 402. So again another GT driver. Wow. Another kind of GT guy. And also Van Thor as well in the number 6 car.
Yeah, looking at the GPS map, you know, the 75 car, he's been in space. He's had no traffic.
Right. Yeah.
So he's about to catch the back of a load of other cars. And the 51 car who's just coming on, you know, again, he's got no traffic. He's got a couple of cars in front, but not many.
And I think if you can have some clear laps where you've got no spray, I think it's the spray more than the actual circuit that is the issue. Because when you, like you said, when you can't go flat down the straight, versus being flat on the straight, there's just you're giving away lap time.
If you're surrounded by cars and you don't know where they're going to go and you don't know where they're going to brake for the next corner, you have to go easy.
You could lose 5-10 seconds a lap, couldn't you? Quite comfortably.
And I think that's exactly what happened to Richard Westbrook. He was, you know, we actually saw his onboard and how much he could see, and it just caught him out. He, as you say, caught up to that NASCAR in front and maybe just braked marginally too late or whatever, and just, you know, lost the rear end.
Communication from the Ferrari team via social media that they reset the 50 car on the last pit stop and lost 30 seconds. I wonder what they reset. That's a little cryptic.
It's these small.
Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship will return on Motor Trend.
Your best defense against erosion and cavities is strong enamel. Nothing beats it. New Pro Enamel Active Shield actively shields the enamel to defend against erosion and cavities. I think that this product is a game changer for my patients. It really works.
It's Michael's lowest prices of the season. Save up to 60% at our store-wide sale. Save on all summer floral and decor, all artist loft canvas, all frames by Studio Decor, and all kids summer crafts. Plus, get 30% off regular prices with coupon.
It's so musty in here.
Everybody damp red. Everybody damp red.
Damp Red. Drop in the tab, attract and trap excess moisture, eliminate musty odors.
Everybody damp red.
Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, brings you the world's first power load string trimmer with Line IQ. So smart, it loads the line automatically. With Line IQ, there's no bumping, so you can work faster. Exclusively at Lowe's, Ace, and Ego authorized dealers.
Don't freak out, but you can get 50% off all menu price Domino's pizzas when you order online right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Right now?
Right now? Right now.
50% off, honey, right now!
Now through the end of the week, get 50% off all menu price pizzas when you order online at Domino's.
Also played the lead in the state.
When you're with your club, comfort is all around. A club is all you need.
Today, my friend, you did it! You did it! You did it!
Centrum Silver is now clinically shown to support cognitive health in older adults. It's one more step towards taking charge of your health. So every day, you can say, with Centrum Silver.
With Armor All stain-repelling technology, it's easy to everyday proof your car.
Thank you so much.
No matter how tough the job is. Armor All technology. Less work, more clean.
You've got questions? We've got answers. Need a pro you can trust? We have stores of that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, Dad, how are you?
Well, I'm very good.
Good to see your face. I'm looking forward to getting you down here soon.
That sounds great. I raised you right.
We jumped in some pangas, did some fishing. It made me think of you. Reminded me of the times you took me down to the Bahamas. Let's make it happen in Costa Rica next time, huh?
Tell me what day to show up. I'm there.
Awesome. Well, I love you, Dad.
I love you too. Take care of yourself, okay?
You too.
Hey guys, Jefferson White here in the heart of the Ozarks with my friends at One Country. They are giving away over 60 acres of land, plus this incredible cabin. You can enter to win right now at onecountry.com.
Have you seen the new Groove Wallet?
It's the Groove Wallet. It's the best wallet. You should get one.
It's the Groove Wallet. It's the Groove Wallet. Get yours today at groovelife.com.
God bless America!
have to build a car on a budget. Crank it. It sounds killer. We pulled off the impossible without breaking the bank.
Hit the gas on the best automotive entertainment with the Motor Trend app.
Very, very nice indeed.
All the shows you love, plus exclusive digital series. Get the app and get it all. Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship continues.
A two-driver, actually. He's the race winner this year.
I think he turns 21 tonight at midnight.
Yes, he does.
Is that right?
Yes, he does. Yes. Yep, in about an hour and 20 minutes. He'll be 21 years old. Speak of the devil, there he is. Oh.
And wide again.
Yep. Well, he was fine. I think the 80 car ended up almost not making it, having the straight line part of it. Now we get into almost into the part of the night when every now and then you'll see the napping crew member. Through the second chicane. That time Ollie used the inside line on the chicane as opposed to
both pushing the limits, aren't they? Everything is being watched.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're almost getting back into the 3-minute lap times now for the hypercar at 4-minute dead. So the track is gradually improving.
Yep. Luke Duval picked up 2 seconds on that last lap. 4:02 for Periguidi and a 4th lap for Duval.
I think it really was how they fell. When the rain came down, is where they were on the track. And I think the 51 car was just in more...
Just all the right spots.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're all very similar times again. As you say, low force.
The top 2, the top 8, all within 2 seconds of each other in that last lap time.
Into the Le Mans 24 hours, and after another safety car, Peugeot's number 94 car had the lead ahead of a packed field of hypercars. Number 5 Porsche, Dane Cameron, taking the battle to the 2 Ferraris that had started on the front row. A bold move, making him second place as Miguel Molina had to hop the curbs. Trouble, though, out of the pit lane for Julian Canal, planting the 36 Alpine LMP2 car in the barriers. After a 10-second lead had been built up by Chinese driver Yiffei Yi, a mistake in the Porsche curves wrecked the Hertz Team Jota's chances. The Porsche coming into the pit lane for substantial repairs. He wasn't the only car in trouble on the damp track. DKR Engineering having a narrow escape at one of the chicanes on the Mulsanne straight, just avoiding major contact. But they'd already spent time in the pits. Arnaud Robin for TF Sport going off in the Porsche curves at high speed and just making contact with the barriers. That was enough with the car jammed in gear for him to not be able to progress. And despite slight damage, he was out of the race. Ferrari moved swiftly ahead of the Peugeot. The red cars in first and second position, as they had been at the start of the race. It was all looking good for the men in red. Behind the leaders in the GTE and LMP2 categories, there was ferocious action as well. The safety cars had bunched the field, and every position was being fought for tooth and nail. 94 Peugeot continued in the top 3, but the slippery conditions were still proving tough to master. Ferrari, in their first top-flight race at Le Mans in half a century, looked to be firmly in charge as they headed into the night time and the real meat of the Le Mans 24 hours.
There goes the 38 Jota Porsche on its recovery drive. Move him up to 17th overall. The second chicane to go. This one is the left flick, then the right.
This is the wetter area, clearly.
Now he's getting the spray from the car. That must be the Jota.
Yeah, that's the Jota Porsche that just went through. So Pierre Guidi continues to lead as the times.
Was that Ollie Caldwell heading into the...
Oh, yeah.
He got it right.
He got it around.
There goes the car behind. He's angry at himself for that one. He braked too late, just out-braked himself and slid right to the gravel.
Didn't quite get into the gravel, but almost out to the gravel.
I think he probably stuck a couple of wheels in it.
Yeah, he probably dragged a couple of wheels through it, exactly.
Was there not a car on the inside? I'm not sure whether he was trying to avoid a car, maybe not.
Here's another look. We'll find out.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, yeah, that's
a spinning car.
Was that the Camaro, perhaps, that was...
I think it might be the Ferrari.
No, it's a Ferrari. It's definitely a Ferrari.
BMW. There we go.
Yep. Oh, yeah, it's the 66 Ferrari. Went in deep, then almost a...
And I think he just got his attention.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, because he went out there like he was going to come right out, but stopped and probably caught him. Oh, no. Problem for the number 75 Porsche. Matthew Jaminet, behind the wheel of that car. He was turning some great times.
It's looking like it's going to need the full system reboot. His glasses, his glasses were fogging up in there, weren't they?
I thought you can see the fog on the window as well. The lights are still green, though. That's good news because that's if the car, those lights that you see glowing there at the front of the car turn red, that means the car has got an electrical problem that is dangerous, and he'll have to go to what they call Area 51, and he'll be out of the race. So, but he's just sounds like he's got no power there.
So, as predicted, Matteo Cairoli takes the lead of GT. The reason I know he's so fast is because he was in my last year of racing, 2020. He was my teammate at Falcon and the Nürburgring.
Yep.
And I was pushing for everything to match his times, and he seemed to be just driving around. I watched his onboard and I thought, how the heck are you doing that? Making it look so easy, and I feel like I'm driving with a knife in my throat.
So now we're on board with Renger van de Zande in the number 3 Cadillac.
So now the number 5 Porsche of Fred Makovecki takes up the charge of the Porsche camp.
Yep, he's now the highest running Porsche in 7th position.
In fact, that was our little side bet, wasn't it, guy? It was. I bet on that 5 car. What car did you bet?
I played safe. I think went for the number 8 Toyota.
Well, they're 6th and 7th now, so
let's see how that's working out for you.
The winner gets a tonic tea cake.
So it was a big bet. Tonic tea cakes are not to be missed. Although those snowballs are pretty good.
Yeah, maybe.
A lot better visibility now for Richard Westbrook.
The number 8 Toyota, it's 2 minutes and 21 seconds off the lead. It's a fair way.
Yes, which is a bit surprising.
I would have thought they would have been like to be a little bit closer to the front at this stage.
Coming up on 11 o'clock here in the SART, coming up on 17 hours remaining in the Centenary Le Mans, the 91st actual running of the race, but the 100th anniversary of the first Le Mans in 1923. And it was decided that this would be a great way to prove the reliability and effectiveness of the automobile. And 100 years later, we're doing the exact same thing with a brand new category, with 14 cars, 15 cars in the class, 16 cars in the class from 5 different manufacturers. It is the dawning of what I think will be the next great era of sports car racing that will probably, hopefully, rival the Group C and GTP eras that we got to enjoy, Group C in Europe and the GTP in the United States.
So the number 75 car is still marked down as stopped.
Yeah, he's not got coming through.
He was, I think it was at Tête Rouge, wasn't he? He was parked.
Is that where it was?
I think so.
Yeah, you can see him on the map up there. You're right, he is still sat on the inside of Tête Rouge.
So I'm sure he's doing all the resets. He'll be speaking to the team and asking for advice. What do we need to do? What do we need to reset? Trying to get that 75 car back up and running into the race.
No Bamber. So the Ferrari 50 car has moved ahead of the Cadillac. Number 2 now as well.
So he's Nicholas Nielsen. Turned to 357 the last lap, I think. Yep. So 358 for our leader, 357 for Loic Duval, 4 minutes flat for Kamui Kobayashi. So, and then 357 for Nicholas Nielsen. We could see, is this Jaminet going again? Or is this, yes, he's moved further. He's moved further on and now pulled off the racetrack.
There's Roger Penske looking on.
He's trying to carry on. Did you ever have to bring the car back to the pits on the starter? Did you ever have to do that?
I've never had to do that. No.
Yeah.
No, but
I don't think you'd make it all the way back.
Well, not from that area, but that was something on the shorter racetracks in the United States. Every now and then a guy would, if you're talking about a 2 3/4 mile road Atlanta or something, you could coast it down the hill and then.
But it's just so frustrating for these guys because they're actually having a great race and very much sort of in the fight. And so frustrating. Greedy in the 51 car is having a great stint. He's done that. He did such a great job in those tricky conditions to sort of pull out more of a lead, hasn't he? And he's still continuing to be probably the fastest car on track. Just trying to build that gap as much as possible.
Is that a purple first sector on Jaminet's scoring line on the lap that he stopped on?
I think that when you stop or slow down, it seems to show up your fastest sector. So I don't believe that's this lap.
I got you. But there he is on driver's right, still puttering along.
Time to come back at that speed. Actually, quickest guy on track just now is a Peugeot of Mikkel Jensen.
That car seems to like the drying conditions. Remember when the Audi against Peugeot was when it was the changing conditions, it was so much faster. So it would rain and the Peugeot would catch back up, and then it would start to dry, and the Audi would. Then when it was dry, the Peugeot would start to catch back up again.
The number 94 car is doing a great job as well, hanging in there in second place with good pace. They're doing a great job.
And with 17 hours to go, a minute behind is not an issue. I mean, there's so much racing.
Yeah.
You know, that is... Been talking about the track conditions. Let's see what the 8 car thinks.
14, second chicane. And 5, 6, 7.
Copy. In your opinion, still not ready for slick? Question. In your opinion, still too early for slick?
Hold down, hold down.
Copy.
So, Hirakawa-san, I think that was him saying that it sounded like he wasn't so keen on the slick right now.
Right, yeah. Too early yet. Still too early.
Second chicane, I think, still very wet on the Mulsanne.
And the Ferrari, though, they've got slicks ready.
That's the 51 car. That's the leading car as well.
Yeah, that could push. No, that's the 50.
Oh, it's 50.
It's the 50 in the pits. This could certainly change Toyota's thinking, especially because they'll be able to see what his lap times are.
Yeah.
And Hirakawa-san might be told, no, you're going on. You're going on slicks.
I think maybe this was a scheduled stop anyway, so they were forced into doing something. So either you go and do another stint on the wet tire and potentially lose a lot of time, or you go into the slick now. But this is the riskiest time now as well.
Yeah.
Because
that crossover moment.
It's dark, and you've got to be on the line because it's wet either side.
Oh yeah, you can see they're still leaving. The tires are still leaving marks on the.
But it's going to get all of the teams thinking now.
Oh yeah.
It's going to get them all thinking: do we match them? Do we copy them, or do we play it safe?
Guaranteed they'll be looking at those lap times next. I don't imagine this first couple will be quite up to it, but then all of a sudden the times will come down.
So now we're taking a look at the battle for 6th and 7th in LMP2. James Allen, Oliver Rasmussen. Of course, this is a comeback drive for the number 28 car. They had an incident earlier, kind of did some front end damage. Given the fact that they're still in the hunt in 6th place with 17 hours to go, that was they kind of got away. I won't say they got away with it, but they got off light.
That's when all that rain came down and yellow flag zones and slow zones
going into Tetru's.
Every other car pitted at the same time. Yeah. So I think they spent extra time in the pits just inspecting the front of the car, but clearly the suspension geometry of the car was okay. It was just damage to the bodywork.
You've got the United 23 car of Tom Blomqvist lapping very quickly at the minute with it's 7 seconds behind the Inter-Europol car, and so let's see in the next lap or two there could be.
He was 7 seconds quicker on that last lap.
Yeah, it could be a change for the lead of LMP2 in the next lap or two if it continues this way.
Back to join us. Hello, Martin. What have you been doing?
I've been watching. You just can't take your eyes off this, can you? This is insane.
It's everything that the 100-year anniversary race should be.
And do you know what? It's everything we sort of hoped for when they started framing these hypercar rules. There was probably quite a lot of skepticism that you could actually produce a platform that lots of different manufacturers with very different ideas of what they needed from it could all embrace and could come out the other end of with cars that are equal. But oh boy, not one car looks like another, even in sort of slight detail, and yet they're all just tenths of a second apart on a 8.5 mile lap. I mean, it's insanely close. And Guy, you know, we've been through periods with one marque dominating and another marque dominating in different forms of the sport. But I don't know at the moment. It's hard to pick a car that looks like it's got any noticeable advantage in almost any conditions that we've seen. There's been 4 seasons so far, apart from snow. So I think there's a very good chance that this might be, okay, a race for the ages as the centenary race. But I think next year there's likely to be even less chance we'll see GT cars, because there'll be even more hypercars having at it.
Yeah, I was a little bit concerned that once the race got going, that it might be a Toyota kind of 1-2 again. It might be back into the sort of the old days as we know it, but it's anything but that. It's actually absolutely delivered on every level, and we've had every manufacturer pretty much taking a turn at the top, and that just shows that they've got it right. They've got the balance of performance right. They've got the whole concept right, and you know, the racing that we're seeing here is just unbelievable.
Le Mans winner Guy Smith. We're joined by world champion Anthony Davidson, as well as we watch the 35 Alpine coming into the pit lane in a battle with the 80 AF Corsa car. That's the Zebra car that you saw a moment or two ago, and APR Algarve Pro Racing. So that's 4th, 5th and 6th in the LMP2 category. Into Europol leading, Fabio Scherer still at the wheel of that car, and his teammate last year in that car, Alex Brundle, currently doing commentary on Eurosport, watching on with interest. United Autosports 23 car. Now that's their best car in terms of championship points. There goes the 80 car. And that is in second place with Tom Blomqvist at the wheel. And Team WRT's Robert Kubica in third. Jota's car that had led earlier on, 28 car, Oliver Rasmussen still at the wheel. Now, we've done commentary, gone for dinner, had a bit of a loaf around, come back, and he's still driving the car that he was in when we left, Ant.
Incredible, isn't it?
He's putting in a solid stint.
Yeah, real solid stint. But Jota were at the top of the LMP2 field, to be fair, when we left momentarily for our dinner. But yeah, Rasmussen still at the wheel. But yeah, right at the top there, Ferrari, Pierre Guidi, they're doing a fantastic job. And so is the 94 Peugeot, Loic Duval. Really impressive stuff from them. I mean, it really came good in the mixed conditions for them. And the car suddenly came alive, didn't it, Guy, in those tricky conditions with the slicks on, intermediate conditions. And suddenly that Peugeot was right there in the mix.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the timing screens now, because we know that the 50 Ferrari, has gone on to slicks now. So it's the first car onto slick tyres. So we just want to see whether it was the right decision or not. So I'm keen to see how they go.
Well, earlier on in the daylight, it was the right decision to switch early. I'm less convinced now, though. You know, it's a very different beast as soon as that sun goes down and the track just remains greasy for a much, much longer time. Usually that's how it plays out here, but I might be proven wrong. But yeah, I think that's quite a brave move from Nielsen to be on the slicks.
They might need to take a little bit of a roll of the dice, because they dropped behind their sister car by over 30 seconds in the last round of pit stops. The team said they had to do a bit of a reset on the car, and it just spent longer stationary. So maybe trying to get some of that advantage back. You can see tyre change here. That's a set of slicks. Yes, it is. That's slicks going on to the United 23 car. Now, that is their strong car. Into Europol, United and WRT's 41 car all in from the lead. And so now to the lead of the race goes the 28 Jota car of Ollie Caldwell. Again, like in the hypercar class, as we have seen year in and year out with this car, with these LMP2 cars, and since before you were in LMP2 and since you've left LMP2, the battle has never been anything other than relentless. The cars are so closely matched, the teams are so closely matched. Blink and suddenly you're out of the hunt.
Absolutely, it's always been a hard-fought battle, the LMP2s. But in recent years, like you say, Martin, yeah, WRT, Jota, United Autosport, they've really raised the bar. Driver change here, Richard Westbrook out of the car number 2 Cadillac, and Earl Bamber back in. He started this race, of course, for the number 2 car. really knows his way around this track, particularly in the night. He was always quick here. Back in his poor days in LMP1, he was always phenomenally fast, particularly in the nighttime sessions.
Going on to softs, so this is a change to slicks as well.
Pit stop though, sparks flying from the wheel guns, a little bit slow on the left rear as well, bit messy there.
Had confirmation from Penske Porsche Penske Motorsport, that the 75 car has had to be retired. It is shown as stopped, it is out on the circuit, and it is retired.
Turns are really not bad from here. It's just between the two chicanes and up to Mulsanne, so let's carry on. I think it's a good choice.
They think it's a good choice.
Well, that was the engineer telling Nick that he thought it was a good choice.
Yeah, I think my decision was a good choice. I mean, you're 2 seconds off the pace at the moment, but
so
let's stick
suck
with
it up, Buttercup.
I think it's going to take you say, as you said, a couple of extra laps to get the temperature into those tyres, with it being a little bit without the sort of heat of the track surface and the sun. So I think it's going to take a couple more laps, but I think with every lap the track is drying out, and it's definitely going more and more towards the slick. So
we all know that horrible feeling, don't you, when you're on a set of old wets on a drying track and it starts sort of squidging around, you lose your confidence, you lose the grip, and you're just wishing that you could be on the slicks. And if you're committed too early to the wets, you're out there for an awful long time losing lap time. Here's the 51 car in.
Yeah, 51 is in. This is our race leader, Alessandro Pierguidi. He took over at the last round of stops. Track temperature currently 22.4, air temperature 22.0, temperature in the booth 22.0, 23.0 it's just clicked up to. So right rear, left, right front. Yeah, a set of scrubbed slicks ready to go on. Normally you don't see the chalk marks and that matte finish on a set of tyres that hasn't been used. So I wonder if those were tyres that may have done a little bit of work in qualifying. We'll wait and see.
Yellow flag, top left-hand corner. Yep, so they're going to put the slicks on.
Yeah.
Off come the old wets, just as we were talking about, and it's a brand new set.
Oh, it is a brand new set of
actually,
softs. You can see the white tab just at the bottom of the picture, not the sort of big Michelin logo, but there's a little white tab about 4 or 5 centimetres across with S inside it. So the white is for the coldest conditions. This makes life easy for simple people like me. White for cold, yellow for sort of nice and sunny, and red for red hot. So Ferrari back up to speed and back full of power, whereas Toyota, number 8 car, is in this lap, and the number 7 probably in another couple of laps.
7 is in. You can see the energy logo just creeping up there, 39, 40%. So 7 in, and Toyota number 8 with Ryo Hirakawa at the wheel. They're due in this lap just down to 1% left.
Either somebody has really started banging on the outside of our cabin, or for the umpteenth night in succession, the fireworks are going off again. There's a magnificent display. If you haven't seen it, it'll be all over social media. The huge centenary celebration last night, fireworks, drones, and all sorts of music and lighting and
New set of softs going on the Toyota as well.
It's cold enough. It's not so hot. Softs should survive here, shouldn't they? This is now night-time running. The temperatures are cooler earlier, perhaps, than they might normally have been expected to be because of the rain.
They started the race, of course, on the softs as well, and in the much hotter conditions, the sun was in and out between the clouds and the rain. It was a proper kind of April showers day almost, but a lot hotter with it, and they survived those warm conditions. Seb Webby did a brilliant job managing them. He had to manage them, but they definitely hung on in there.
First ever time I've seen this race control message coming up on our screen. Fireworks and drone show is going on. So there is another centenary celebration show. There's another gig tonight, yet another gig on the stage behind our caravan. So yeah, it is a very busy weekend all round, outside the track, inside the track, above the track, below the track. Just emptying the bin liners there inside this little access hatch to try and...
Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship will return on Motor Trend.
Meet 3 students, all learning to save and spend their money with Chase. Freedom for kids? Thank you, chef. Control for parents? Nice. One bank for both. Chase, make more of what's yours.
As someone living with type 2 diabetes, I want to keep it real and talk about some risks. With type 2 diabetes, you have up to 4 times greater risk of stroke, heart attack, or death. Even at your A1C goal, you're still at risk, which if ignored could bring you here. May put you in one of those, or even worse. Too much? That's the point. Get real about your risks and do something about it. Talk to your healthcare provider about ways to lower your risk of stroke, heart attack, or death. Learn more at getrealaboutdiabetes.com.
So many hotels.
Trouble booking the family vacay? Come on. Comfort does free hot breakfast for the whole fam.
They have waffles.
And splendid pools.
Book direct at choicehotels.com.
My relationship with my credit cards wasn't good. I got into debt in college, and no matter how much I paid, it followed me everywhere. The high interest, I felt trapped. So I broke up with my credit card debt and consolidated it into a low-rate personal loan from SoFi. I finally feel like a grown-up.
Break up with bad credit card debt. Get a personal loan with low fixed rates and borrow up to $100K. Go to SoFi.com to view your rate. SoFi, get your money right.
Hey, and one more.
I think we got it.
Yeah, let's focus on the RV. Come on.
RV?
Okay, everybody look at the RV and smile.
This is what you want for your family portrait?
Good point. We bundled the boat with our home and auto first. Hey, team, get on in here.
Team? Oh. Fun.
Now everyone say 24/7 financial protection with Progressive.
24/7 financial protection with
Progressive.
Okay. Let's get some singles and me on the bike. Honey?
Yeah.
Dads are special. Fun. Inspiring. Always there for you. So make Father's Day extra special with gifts he'll love from WeatherTech. Floor liners, cargo liner, seat protector, sunshade, ready-to-wash system, and cup phone. Or our newest product, the golf cart mat. Order these American-made gifts or gift card at WeatherTech.com. Have a very happy Father's Day.
24 hours on the clock. Le Mans is underway. Now they can believe.
Did you know that ticket prices can actually go down right before the game? That's where Game Time comes in. Game Time tracks ticket prices in real time from thousands of trusted sellers, then shows you all the best deals. So we can get tickets at the last minute for up to 60% off. Download Game Time now.
Here at Legion's Flag Supply, we take pride in providing such a special symbol for our country. All of our flag's materials are sourced in America, and they are made by American seamstresses. So we are American made from beginning to end.
I gotta lose some weight.
Nah, man. You just need a groove belt. The groove belt has the perfect combination of flexibility and durability.
This is incredible. I can feel my waist again.
Get your groove belt at groovelife.com.
Hey, Dad, how are you?
Well, I'm doing good.
Good to see your face. I'm looking forward to getting you down here soon. Reminded me of the times you took me down to the Bahamas. Let's make it happen in Costa Rica next time.
Tell me what day to show up. I'm there.
Hit the gas on the best automotive entertainment with the Motor Trend app. Very, very nice indeed. All the shows you love, plus exclusive digital series. Get the app and get it all. Live coverage of the FIA World Endurance Championship continues.
brilliant is that? A whole lap in the dark at Le Mans in a Ferrari, leading the race. Pierre Guidi at the wheel.
But what would it be like in a Cadillac? You want to find out?
It'd be great to find out, wouldn't it?
We're going to find out. There's the fireworks show. Now, there's the view from above of the lights and the fireworks bursting in air. I mean, it was full on last night, wasn't it? And right where all of that is firing off is the edge of the TV compound. Our caravans where we sleep for the week are in there as well. And then at midnight, the Sonne Lumiere continued on the main stage, which is about the length of a cricket pitch from the back of our caravan. So we were breathing in every bass beat all night long. It was impressive. Okay, let's ride with former Le Mans winner Earl Bamber. Again, the sounds of Speed Sport 1 here from Le Mans. Turn it up.
So this time, riding on board with Earl Bamber, like you say, Martin, this time you can see the steering wheel, so the driver really at work. Here we go, on the run up towards the Porsche curves. I'm going to shut up and let you enjoy it. To Indianapolis he comes with the LMP2 car as traffic in front. It's not quite as blinding as that. The camera's picking up the flashing rain lights of the car in front, but you get the idea. Amazing. What an amazing experience to really put you in the cockpit with the driver. You get to hear how hard at work they are on throttle coming out of all those slower speed chicanes. It's absolutely treacherous conditions for them on these slick tyres, really working the steering and the throttle. All the pedals just is such high intensity, high workload for the driver, like it is. But yeah, El Bamba making it look pretty effortless, because I can tell you, when you're actually sitting in there, it's even harder than it looks.
And one of the things you're not getting is the view I'm getting, which is here in the commentary box, and particularly in the Ferrari. Every time the tail stepped out, you could hear the wheels spinning, and it was short shifting away. Fast twitch fibres of Guy Smith and Ando, so we're both trying to catch the car. Yeah. It's just an instinct born of decades of tuition.
Right. Well, the Perguidi and Alessandro Perguidi, who's leading, I've been watching him when he was actually in the wet, when it was really, really tricky. He was almost 10 seconds quicker than anybody. I actually thought it was a mistake, and I kind of watching his lap times. And even now, looking, he's in his sort of high 339s, 340s, and the other cars are in the sort of 44s, 45s.
Oh, that's the Bicoles, the Floyd Van Wall car. So Esteban Guerrieri, the Argentine driver. Now, that's not an outlap or anything else, so what's happened to him? Oh, dear. Oh. A big bunch of cars going slower than he'd imagined down in the S's.
Yeah, just on the outside. I think he was looking for a bit of space almost, and just ventured onto the wet stuff. I mean, it's so hard to see where you're going, let alone whether you're on the wet part or the dry part when it's dark like this.
That's a real shame. I mean, that's a single car entry. It's a small team. They've gone their own way with engine choice, development and everything else. And actually, it's shown decent pace this season. It's had a couple of reliability issues, but yeah, putting it off in the gravel is not going to help their attack here. However, again, for them, it will be the prospect of finishing this race that will be the big deal. Back into the GTE category in the pit lane, Proton Competitions, Jonas Reed in the 88 car, the third generation of the Reed family, because his dad is racing here this weekend, Christian Reed, and it was his grandfather, Gerald Reed, who started the family voyage